All right, what we have here is the brand new Raptor fog lights. These are the first ones in the United States. We got the first ones released. Very unique design. We're going to do an unboxing on them. We're going to do the amperage test on them. See how many amps they draw so we know which circuits to put them on inside the Raptor. Looks like they're going to be an interesting light. Okay, right off the bat, we've got some installation instructions. We'll go back through those later. And wiring harness plugs into the lights. Ground wire there. See how that works later. Some zip ties. You never have enough of those, although probably should have some of those if you're going to be doing this. Nice that they throw them in there. Double bubble wrapped. Looks pretty good. I'll take one of these away. There it is. Ain't she purty? Very nice looking light. I guess this is our turn signal here. From what I understand, it's sequential. These are going to be our fog lights, and this is a daytime running light. Color looks good. That should match up well with the bumper. Got on the back side. It's basically a snap fit. How it's going to go in is it's going to be held in with these small tabs right here on the top and on the bottom. A couple pieces of 3M tape just to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. Heat sink on the fog lights to help dissipate the heat so we don't blow the bulbs out or anything. But it looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and get the wiring harness undone here, get these hooked up, see what they look like, and see what kind of amperage they draw. I'm going to go ahead and go through the wiring harness here real quick. This is kind of an interesting design. They have one end wire loomed. And of course this one's, I'm going to assume, is for my turn signal at that point in time, that wire there. But it's wire loomed all the way across till you get to the other side. And then from there, there's actually nice heat shrink on there. Of course we think it should be for the other turn signal. Nice heat shrink on there, all the way up to the end. We have a ground. I have to cut that back a little bit to get to that. And these should be, one of these should be for our daytime running lights, and one of these should be for our fog. So it should be interesting. Pretty excited for the install on these at this point. Shouldn't be too hard with the wiring harness that they supplied. Looks pretty good. Alright, this is front end before. Pretty colorful. But we're gonna go right here. See that hole? We're gonna cover that hole up. It is winter. It's cold outside, 30-some degrees. Ran a car through the car wash. Got some of the snow off of it. Got the heaters going. Not going to get very warm in here, but some heat is better than none. But that's where we're at. Let's start the install. Okay, what I'm seeing is this bundle of wires right there. See that yellow wire and that tape? that's the wires we need to come off. So for reference, there's our battery, there's our windshield washer, and that right there is a bundle of wires we need to get loose. Okay, the wires we are going to be using came out of that pack. The wires we will be using are going to be blue with orange and the yellow with orange. Both of those are 5-amp circuit. We're going to be using those two wires right there. We're going to use one for the running lights, daytime running lights, which will also work our turn signal, and the other wire will be for our fog lights. So those are the two wires we are going to be using. Okay, we're going to need to tap into the turn signal. And I found the wiring connector for it. So if you look right here, straight down through here, you'll see the connection way down in there. It's not going to focus for me, but that's where it's at. There it is. We're going to reach our hand. There's your headlight. This is your intake, your ram air intake. We're going to reach our hand right behind there, undo that connection to get to the headlight wiring on the driver's side. Okay, did get my hand down there, got the connection loose. This is what we're looking at. It's actually only using half of that plug. So we're going to meter out, see which one's actually the turn signal wire, and then we'll know which wire we have to tap into there. Luckily it does at least come to the top here. It's going to be a little tight, but we'll get it in. Okay, on the driver's side, this is the connector for the headlights. 2020 Raptor. The turn signal wire is actually this blue wire right here. That's the one we're going to tap into. It's on the very end. That's the one we're going to tap into to get the turn signal for the driver's side. On the passenger side, it's actually going to be yellow with a brown stripe. Yellow with brown stripe on the passenger side. Again, it is in the same location. That's how I tested it. It's in the same location. It's going to be on the far right-hand side, on the top, if you're looking at the plug in this direction. So those are our wires we're going to tap into for the turn signals. I'm going to go ahead and lay out the wiring harness and see where that puts us. To get this wire where I have it up here, so I could actually tap into it for the turn signals. A little tricky. It's a little tight on this side. You have the windshield reservoir, windshield washer fluid reservoir. You have the battery. No room behind it to get your hand. Actually had to come from underneath down here. And go in this way. I did have to disconnect two of the push pins from this liner. One was a quarter turn, the other one was a standard push pin. I did have to disconnect those in order to get that out of the way. Okay, to gain access up underneath on the passenger side, this is inside the fender liner. You have a push pin here and a quarter turn fastener back there. Once you do that, then you can pull that down to gain access to your wiring for that headlight turn signal area. Okay, wiring underneath. Back of the fog light. That's that connection. The yellow wire goes up to the turn signal. I ran the wire down the frame here and across where the other wires are on the front cross member. brought our wires up through here, and we're going to tidy them up with tightening those up also. This is with the driving lights off. With the driving lights on, where we really see it is out the side here. If you look, that throws a ton of light over there. Okay, now we're going to turn on the fog lights. There's your fogs. Nice, right underneath the headlights where you want them, and a nice cutoff actually on them too. Looks like it makes a big difference. This is with nothing on. Okay, that's with our driving lights on. Where we really see the biggest difference is over here on the side with our daytime running lights on. Now this will be with the fog lights coming on. You see they fill in that gap down below perfect. And I mean perfect. Off, on. Alright, turn the high beams on. Okay, there's our high beams with the fogs on, with the fogs off. Fogs on, they really fill that gap in there nice.